I was looking at my kitchen counter this morning and I realized I have 3 different types of salt. Not like flavored salt, just 3 containers of the same sea salt because I forgot I had the first 2. And it hit me that my entire life feels like that kitchen counter right now. Just layers of things I already have or tasks I already committed to, but I keep adding more because I am not actually looking at the pile.
It is that mental clutter that gets us. We think we are being prepared by having 3 of everything or saying yes to 3 different projects, but all we are doing is burying the lead. You're not actually cooking better food with 3 salts. You're just losing space to prep the meal.
Exactly. And I feel like a failure for even saying it because everyone else seems to be doing more. I see people on social media training for marathons while starting side businesses and making sourdough from scratch. When I try to simplify, I feel like I'm just being lazy or falling behind.
That is the big lie we have all bought into. We equate busy with important, but being busy is often just a form of laziness, a lazy way of thinking. It is much easier to say yes to everything than it is to do the hard work of deciding what actually matters. What we are talking about today is the Essentialist Manifesto. It's not about doing less for the sake of less, it's about doing the right things.
The right things. That sounds great in theory, but how do you even know what the right things are when everything feels like a priority? My boss thinks her project is the right thing. My kid thinks the science fair is the right thing. My brain thinks checking emails at 10 p.m. is the right thing.
The core principle here is the disciplined pursuit of less. Most people think essentialism is a time management strategy. It is not. It is a mindset shift. It is the understanding that almost everything is noise, and only a few things are exceptionally valuable. Think about the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts.
So you're saying I should just ignore the other 80%? That sounds like a great way to get fired or lose friends.
Not ignore it, but acknowledge it for what it is. If you do not prioritize your life, someone else will. If you do not choose where to put your energy will be spread so thin that you make a millimeter of progress in a million different directions. The manifesto is about moving from that inch deep and a mile wide feeling to a mile deep and an inch wide focus.
Okay, I like the visual. It's like a spotlight versus a floodlight. A floodlight covers everything but hits nothing with real intensity. A spotlight, well, it burns through things. But how do we actually start? I'm sitting here with my 3 salts and a calendar that looks like a Tetris game gone wrong.
Let's get practical. The first step is what I call the edit. You have to look at your commitments like a closet. You don't just ask, is there a chance I might wear this one day? Because the answer is always yes. You ask, do I love it? Does it fit me right now? If I didn't already own it, how much would I pay to get it?
So I should look at my Tuesday afternoon meeting and ask, if this was not already on my calendar, would I fight to put it there?
Precisely. If the answer is not a hell yes, then it should be a no.
That's a high bar.
It has to be. Otherwise, the slow maybes will eat your life alive. Step 2 is the trade-off. We have to stop asking, how can I make this all work? And start asking, which problem do I want? Because every time you say yes to one thing, you're inherently saying no to something else. You just usually do it by accident.
Right. So if I say yes to that extra volunteer committee, I'm accidentally saying no to my evening walk or sleep. I'm still making a choice. I'm just being a coward about admitting it.
That's a bit harsh, but essentially true. The third step is to build a buffer. Life is messy, things go wrong. An essentialist builds in a 20% wiggle room for every task. If you think a report will take 2 hours, give yourself 2.5. It stops the panic when the unexpected happens.
I can hear the listeners now, though. They're saying, must be nice, Leo. What about the people who literally can't say no? Like, if my boss gives me a task, I can't just look at her and say, that's not a hell yes for me, Susan. I'd be in the unemployment line by lunch.
That's the most common pushback, but being an essentialist actually makes you a better employee. When Susan comes to you with a fourth priority task, you don't say no. You show her your current list and say, I want to do a great job on these top 3 things. If I add this fourth one, which of these should I deprioritize or delay so I can maintain the quality?
So you're making the trade-off visible instead of just internalizing the stress.
Exactly. You're inviting them into the reality of finite time. Most people respect that because it shows you care about the results, not just the appearance of being busy. It's about professional integrity.
And what about social pressure, the fear of missing out, or FOMO? My friends are all going to this concert and I'm exhausted, but I feel like a flake if I stay home.
FOMO is the enemy of clarity. You have to replace it with JOMO, the joy of missing out, the joy of knowing that by missing that concert, you're choosing a night of restoration so you can be fully present for the things that actually matter tomorrow. It's a trade. You're trading a fleeting social moment for long-term sanity.
It feels like the life made simple way is really just about being honest. Honest about what we can actually do, and honest about what we actually value.
It is. It's a return to the basics. We've been sold a version of life that says more is better, but we're all drowning in the more.
I think I'm going to start by getting rid of those extra salts. It sounds small, but it's a start. I'm going to clear that counter and see what it feels like to just have space to breathe.
That's the manifesto in action. It's not a one-time event. It's a daily practice of pruning.
If you're listening and feeling that inch-deep, mile-wide exhaustion, just know you're not alone. We're all trying to navigate the noise.
The goal for this week is simple. Find one maybe in your life and turn it into a no. Clear the space for the things that truly matter.
Because when you simplify the stuff, the life you actually want starts to show up. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Always, let's keep it simple.